Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube video. So today we are continuing with our business series, the Lockdown Business Lowdown, where I'm chatting to all different people from different industries, business owners, just to see how this situation has affected them. So today I'm here with my oldest friend, Natalie. We are both called Natalie. That got very confusing when we were little. We were together all the time. And Natalie is here to tell you all about her business, what she does, and how this situation has affected her. So Natalie, pass it over to you, introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Okay, my name's Natalie, and I run a company called Awesome Kids, and we provide extracurricular dance clubs in primary schools and nurseries. So we go into each school and we run before school clubs, lunchtime clubs, PE sessions, after school, ballet, street dance, Zumba, gymnastics. And we run holiday camps and birthday parties. So yeah, full on.
Oh my gosh, amazing. But you didn't always do all of that, did you? When you first started, it was more specific, wasn't it?
Yes, it was just one class and then trying to basically recreate that class in each different school. But then as you obviously get to know each school, and then they say, oh, actually, we're looking for a gymnastics club. Can you do that? And you're like, yep, we can do that. And then you're like, we better learn how to do that before we start this. And obviously it was just me before, and now, before this, there was more of us, my partner Martina, and then 3-4 other instructors. So yeah.
Amazing. You learn to adapt. That's it. When you're a business owner and you get asked to do something, you just say yes and you figure it out.
Just say yes and then deal with it afterwards.
Exactly. So when lockdown came into play, what were your initial thoughts? Like when you heard that you had to basically stop everything, what did you think?
Oh, well, I was sure it wasn't going to happen.
So was I.
I was completely like, it's never going to happen. They're not going to close the schools. There's no way they close the schools.
Yeah.
We are going to carry on. We're going to do our end of term shows, even if we have to film them and send them out. And it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then it happened. And then we were there. We realised that we'd obviously, it was because it was like 2 weeks before the end of term. So we had like 25 shows coming up in the next 2 weeks. So one show in every school for every club. And so in the office still, we've got 500 certificates written in calligraphy by my mum with every single child's name on that we never got to give out. And it takes her hours and hours. We've got 500 goodie bags upstairs that we never got to give out.
No.
And I was like, no, we're going to make it happen. And then the idea was, well, if the schools close, we will rent a hall and then just get our show done.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that when schools close, it means halls close, it means churches close, it means there's no available space. It's against the law. And so we were in our club on the last Wednesday. We realised we were going to have to start filming the children to send to the parents, like as a virtual show everywhere we could. So we're filming it, and at that point I still thought, well, we'll still be doing our show next week for sure. This is just the backup.
Yeah.
And then on that evening, the Wednesday evening, came the announcement, all schools are closing on Friday. And we were like, no.
You were like, it's a lie.
It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Then obviously on Thursday, everywhere we went, we filmed. But the thing is, by Thursday, when the announcement came on Wednesday, lots of children didn't go to school those last 2 days. So clubs that would normally have been 30 were 10, 15. But we filmed who we had and we sent it to who we had. But it was a very weird feeling to go into the schools those last 2 days when you knew that they were closing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So we didn't have to go. The schools phoned us and said, are you coming the last 2 days? And like idiots, we said yes. Yeah. And then we got bloody ill. So, I don't know if it was that or, whatever. But until the last day, until the Friday, it didn't really hit me. And it got so stressful those last few days with everyone, and nobody knew what was happening, that we were like, we can't even think about what's going to happen next week. We're just going to get to Friday, get rid of this horrible feeling where you feel like every time we went into a school building, you felt like, I'm going to get ill here. I just want to touch anything. Yeah. And the thing with the children is they come up and hug you, and there's nothing you can do, and they didn't understand at that time because nothing had closed yet.
Yeah.
So we were still doing gymnastics with them on the Thursday. We're still rolling over and getting them changed and stuff. And then we were like, we'll just deal with it on Monday.
Yeah. I think at that point as well, like that kind of week before everything happened, like so many people just didn't know what was going on. Like I spoke to my brother who's in the nightlife industry, and you know, it was that same kind of thing. Like they weren't told they had to close. So should they stay open? Like, is it safe to stay open? It's that feeling of unknown, and just
we felt like if we were the ones who said we're not going to school tomorrow, it was like going to look bad on us because the school was open and essentially most of the children, some of the children were there. So like, and then if we made the decision to not go, we would have to start giving refunds to people. And we can't do that unless if we're forced to close. We can't, obviously we're not giving refunds to anyone, but we had to go until the last time the schools were open, because otherwise refunding people would have been crippling and a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, you've got to just go with it, haven't you? And just
we had to go. I ate my snack in the car with gloves on. I ate nuts.
I can actually imagine you doing that.
I literally ate nuts from Tupperware with gloves on.
Oh my gosh, you're already a little bit like funny about stuff.
Yeah, like and that was before people were wearing gloves and stuff. So if someone was seeing me in the car with these blue gloves, like eating almonds,
you started the trend. That's so funny. Okay, so obviously then everything closed and that was that. So how has it affected you, like these last like 2 months basically?
Well, obviously we essentially went from having a booming business with 500 children attending a week in 30 different venues to having 0 children in 0 venues. So there was like 2 weeks till the end of term, and obviously they'd paid until the end of term. So we decided to set up a YouTube channel where we were going to post dances and tutorials of different dances so that they could still get their money's worth. Obviously we didn't charge for that or anything. So we filmed them all and we posted them on YouTube, and I think everyone was doing them at home. They had like 300, 400 views. So that pretty means that everyone sort of did it. That was good. And then it was the Easter holidays. And then we were meant to be doing an Easter camp. Some people had already booked and paid for it. So obviously we had to refund those people. And then we were planning when the term started to do some things online. But we were ill and it wasn't possible with doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So we held off for a bit. Had some emails from people saying, you know, are you going to do anything? La 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 la. And then last week we said, okay, we're going to do an online class on Zoom, and we're going to put it out there to all of our children, and we're going to see what the response is. So we put it out there on Saturday, and then we did the class yesterday, and we had 40 children do the class, which was a good turnout. And obviously we charged them for the class. So that the moment, that's the only way I can see of monetizing anything in this situation. But you can only charge a minimum amount. It's half an hour online. It's not like interacting with them or
it's harder, isn't it? Because you're like, it's still your time, but then it's you're not there. So it's always like, how much do you charge? Like I've had similar with my personal training stuff. I'm like, I'm still on Zoom, we're still having a one-to-one, I'm still here guiding you, but I'm not there. So it's like you have to just find that best balance.
Yeah, but I think that people are, where they can, they do want to support small businesses and things they were going to before. And because they, at the end of the day, if they don't, then there's going to be nothing to go back to afterwards. We need to make sure that there are classes to go back to when we can start again. So it's been very different, but but not all negative. It's definitely not all been negative.
Yeah. Talk about the positives. What's the positive stuff?
Well, I've realised we have a very, very loyal client base. And when everything closed and everything, it was quite cool to see how many of the people contacted us. Like, we were still something they wanted to do during all of this. Like, they wanted us to be a part of their lives. They wanted our YouTube dances. They watched them 10, 15 times. Like, the emails I've had from parents is, we do your dances every single day. We put them on the TV, on YouTube. Like, that's the thing that makes us smile. So, and also I've realised it's not like, if you're not there one day, it's not the end of the world. We've been not there for 5-6 weeks. We haven't even contacted anyone really, apart from the YouTube stuff at the beginning. And people still yesterday were ready, paid the money, signed up, logged on at 3:00, had everything ready, even had their awesome t-shirts on just to do a dance online. Like, whereas before I thought, if I missed one day, I didn't miss a day. There was no day that I would ever miss. Like, I just thought if I missed a day, everything would crumble. Like, nothing would happen. Everyone would leave. Like, it would all be a disaster. And it won't be a disaster. Like, it can still run.
Totally.
If you know how to. I don't think I was getting very unnecessarily stressed about stuff that I sort of realised is not the be all and end all.
100%. And I think so many people in every industry probably have realised that now. I think, people work themselves literally into the ground and stress themselves out, making themselves ill, not sleeping, getting anxious, all these things for work. And then it's like, when it all has to stop and things actually carry on and keep going, you're like, oh, actually, I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to be so stressed. And I think after this, I think the way of life is going to be so different. I don't think anything is going to go back to normal. I think everyone's going to have a totally different attitude, totally different view. And it will be I think it'll just be less pressure on everybody.
I think so. I think people are going to be nicer, less critical. Like, before, I was like scared to say no to someone. Like, so someone books a party and then they go, I want it on Sunday at 2:00. And before, I'd have moved everything. Just to do it for somebody, because because we want this, we want you, we want Martina. Blah, blah. Whereas now I feel like we could say, this is what we do, and our parties are run by this person if you're booking on a Sunday. Like, I don't feel like everything is so important as it was.
Definitely.
I mean, it's still important.
Cool.
But I just think it changes when you're forced to stop. I never would have stopped. But when you're forced to stop, I think it changes your priorities.
You realize.
And I feel like now I could do, if I had to take some time for something, I could do that. Whereas before, I wouldn't have considered it. You know?
And that's so important for your health as well. Like, you said you got on well, didn't you? Not with corona, but with tonsillitis, wasn't it? And like, I think what happens is, when you stop, was that quite soon after? Was that soon after you
when you get ill?
You go, you'll go, and then your body stops and it goes into like exhaustion mode and you get ill. That's just what happens. So I guess that was probably quite eye-opening. And I think as well, like, as a business owner, you want to have that freedom. That's why you start your own business, right? You don't want to have to be there all the time, make it run yourself all the time. So to know that it can still happen without you there every day, it's probably quite a nice recognizing, like, good to recognize that.
And thinking about then going into analyze, well, what are the things, or where are the schools or the classes that turn a profit? Where are the ones that don't? Whereas before, we were running a few classes that didn't turn a profit or even lost money, and we were only running them to keep people happy. Like, just because you don't want to go through the I don't want to say shame, but like the feeling of failure if you're going to say, we're not running this club anymore because now, for one reason or another, it's not financially viable for us. Whereas we were so scared to do that. Like, we were going to carry on running just so the teacher's happy, just so those 7 children are happy, just so the school's happy because we're not cancelling our contract in the middle. And then we took the brunt of it. We were paying out of our own pocket just to make something run, and we were paying for it to run. Whereas now I think it's more about thinking smarter and trying. You don't have to there is no shame in it, you know. Sometimes it's better to say that doesn't turn a profit and that turns a profit. So we're going to focus on that. Yeah, definitely. And even our classes where Martina and I teach them together, they are so much more successful than when you're on your own. It's something about the chemistry and the atmosphere. And so I think, because we were saying, okay, well, now we're going to split up so we can run that one and that one. But is there any point in running 2 half-size classes or 1 double-size class?
And make more from it. Yeah, definitely. It's just like looking at things differently, I guess, isn't it? And I think unless you had this time to stop, why would you stop and think about that? You would have just been on that like hamster wheel, just like go.
Yeah, because one term leads to another term leads to another term, and you never want to get to the point where you say, if you stand up at the end of term show and you say, I'm really sorry, we're not taking sign-ups for next term. That nobody ever wants to do that. You're going to just leave upset children, and like you can't start explaining to children, well, because we're not making a profit from this school because the school's decided to charge X amount for their hall, or there's now another club on a Wednesday and that's taking our business away, or whatever. They don't get that. So I think this has been a good, in a way, I mean, not good for the bank account, but good
for you. Yeah, definitely. I was going to say something then, but I've got, and it's not even just term to term with you. Like you said, you do all your camps, don't you? Like you're literally non-stop. You are
we didn't go on holiday Martina hasn't seen her mum for 3 years, 2 years, because we didn't go away. So because every term time, there's no option to take any time off. Every holiday, we get to the point where we're like, well, obviously we're going to run a camp because people are requesting it, and we were getting to the stage where we were taking 40, 50 children a day. How can you say no to that?
Of course. And
the camps wouldn't run without us. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving someone in charge for 6-7 hours. One class is different, but a day is something else. And so we were just like, we can't miss a holiday. Did every half term, even Christmas, even the 23rd of December we did last year. I mean, what was that? Gosh. We ran a camp last Christmas on the 23rd of December. It was a Monday.
Why did you do that? What were you thinking?
I have no idea. We finished school on the Friday, on the 20th or something, and we had a last show then that day, and then we ran this camp 9 till 4. We even added an extra hour because we had this idea that parents would want more of the chunk of day to wrap and shop or whatever. So we ran the camp 9 till 4 on the 23rd of December.
Again, thinking about others, right? Not thinking about you.
Yeah. Thinking about others. And paying our other staff to be there on the 23rd of December. What were we thinking?
But it's a lesson, right? You've learned from it, and you're not going to do that again, I'm imagining. No.
I think 23rd of December was a bit... When we got there on the 23rd of December, and I was thinking, what are we doing? What are we doing? We had quite a lot of children there, to be fair.
It's great. It's great that you did that. And I think, they would have appreciated, the kids and the parents obviously would have appreciated that so much. But for you, not necessarily the best move.
I mean, it wasn't. We've been working a 14-week term, that term from September to December. We just done 30 shows. And we thought, do you know what? Let's do a camp for one day.
I'm so glad you've had this break. I feel tired for you, thinking about this. I'm like, oh yeah, chill, take some time.
But do you know what? That's why at the beginning, when it first happened, we were everyone was the day after it happened in the lockdown, other companies like us or other providers were we're going online from Monday. We're carrying on with the normal schedule from Monday, and it's going to be every day, and this is the timetable, and 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, da, 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 da. And I feel like, well, we just were like, we're not doing that at the moment, and we just need to take a minute. And those people have sort of withered out, and the novelty of the online, especially with the kids, I think it wears off very, very quickly. 100%. Like I was a bit frustrated at the beginning that we couldn't do the online stuff because we were ill, and then now, since we've done it yesterday and it was exciting for them, like, you know, you could see it. I feel like if we'd have from Monday, okay, we're going online from Monday, and then we saw them every day or every week, and it would be, by now, I think we'd have 5 children online. Yeah. And I know for a fact that other companies have already, who did say, oh yeah, we're going online from Monday, we're going to do everything possible, and la 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 la. Yeah. And then they've already cut their times and classes, and they're doing it for like 5 kids online. And you know, I'd rather work once a week for 40, 50 children than every single day for 5, 6 children. And I think you have to try and keep it exciting, because this is going to, with the class with them, it's going to get very boring very quickly. You can't interact with them, and the reason they love coming is because they interact with you. So
I feel like if I asked you this question, like if we were talking about this before this happened, though, I feel like you would have been like, every day, we're going to do class every day, morning and evening, Saturday, Sunday.
I'd have been like, call me, we'll do it anytime at your convenience. One-on-one. Yeah, you know, we could do a birthday party online. La, la, la. I would have been. I
know you would have been. That actually brings me on quite nicely to my next question. So, thoughts on moving forward. Obviously, we still don't know how long this is going to be going on for, but you said you've done your first class yesterday. So what's your kind of, I guess, the next kind of couple of months, I would say? What's kind of your strategy for
that? Our plan is to do 1 special class a week. And maybe not the same time every week, or maybe not the same thing, like change it up, different themes, Aladdin, Trolls, try and keep
Trolls. It. Love that.
Trolls, yeah. Hair in the air. And then get to the end of term, which will be July. Even if the schools were to go back for the last month, it wouldn't mean us going back. I don't foresee there being the possibility to do a dance class with, and we wouldn't be able to make it work because there would be a limit on, say, 10, 15 children, and how could we make that work financially? So I think realistically we'll get to the end of term, we'll do some more online stuff, but not overkill. And then we will take the summer, as always, obviously here, and plan for September. We are much further in our studio venture.
Oh, fabulous. Let's talk about that for a second.
We are nearly about to start building work.
Amazing.
Which is great for us because builders can start work again. And I hope that in September we'll be able to go back to some of our classes, the big ones, and then fingers crossed we would hopefully be opening our own studio.
That's so exciting. So will you be doing, so you'll be doing the classes at the schools, and then what, the studio is totally kind of a separate thing for different kids?
Studio separate thing because it will obviously be in one place. But I guess it all depends on if we go back and when we go back to how, I don't know. Because at the moment, I don't know how exactly we're going to make that work with going to school and running the studio. Obviously, the studio will require other staff to be there, and it will be for adults as well. So it will be fitness classes. There's like 2 downstairs studios and some rooms upstairs, and it'll also be a case of hiring the rooms to other people for music lessons or language lessons or whatever. And then obviously we'll be doing our photography and photo shoots. So I don't know. At the moment, I don't know how we're going to make it work, but we will.
You will, of course. There's always a way. Where is the studio going to be?
In Teddington.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes.
Love that. That's so exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. I mean, it's not 100% closed yet because we're still, and obviously with this coming in, it was like, oh, now renegotiate the whole contract because you can't do everything that we would have wanted to do straight away. But yeah, and I think maybe this all happened at sort of the right time.
Yeah.
Like, it's really selfish to say, but like,
not at all. I agree totally.
Or, everyone has to take it for them.
Yeah.
I know it's a big global thing, but you can't spend your whole life thinking of global consequences.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Will we even go back to school, or will we just open the studio?
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, like it's not a selfish thing or anything to say. I think it's how you look at things is how everything's going to be. Like if you choose to use this as an opportunity and focus on the things which you can control, such as everything that you've been doing, then that's what I think everyone should be doing. Easier said than done, I know, but if you have, if you're lucky to have that outlook, then brilliant.
Yeah.
So my last question, do you have any kind of tips or advice? Like if anyone's watching this who is in a similar position to you, maybe working with children, maybe, small business wise, just, anything that you would kind of recommend for them to kind of think about or do, or just your thoughts really?
I would say that the people are going overkill on the online thing.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to think that if you're working with children, they're not the same as adults. Mm-hmm. You could talk to an adult and do a personal training session with them every day. They'll still take it as seriously. But with the children, the only way they're stimulated is with the variety.
Yeah.
And when you bring the variety to the class with ribbons or juggling balls or spinning plates, you suddenly get back the ones that you were losing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you can't do that online, which means that the process of losing those children is going to be quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's all about keeping it special in this time and understanding that they are not the same as adults.
Yeah, that's so true. And I don't think many people would necessarily look at it that way. Like you kind of have to put it, I know it's quite simple what you've just said, but you don't really think about that. You're just like, we want to give them loads of entertainment. Like, how much can we do? How much can we do? But, if you've got, like you said, one thing a week where they can be like, oh my God, it's Tuesday. This is what's happening. Like they know that that's what they're getting on Tuesday. They look forward to it and they all turn up and they love it. Like that's what you want at the end of the day.
Yeah, like even with the YouTube at the beginning, I was ready to do put 100 dances on there, so people can choose and they have variety. And then Martina was like, just slow it down. We don't have to do one today, because they've got 5, 6 to do. You want them to learn it. They want to go through it. That's the whole thing about recording it. They're going to rewind it 100 times because that's all they've got to do. And then we started putting them on, and then we didn't put one on for ages. And I was getting very stressed about it, literally pacing the floor, walking around. Oh my God, could we just please go out and film one? They're waiting. They're definitely waiting.
Yeah.
And then we put one on, and the views were much higher than they had been before.
Yeah.
And then people were still emailing yesterday saying they're still doing the dances that we put on in March.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like anything in life though, isn't it? When something is so easy to access, it's like, whatever. But if it's something, play hard to get a little bit.
Play hard to get.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do that. So I think we have to carry this forward slightly. I mean, not saying that it's all about service and it's all about,
of course.
Bringing people what they want. But sometimes they don't know what's best.
Yeah.
For them,
Yeah.
So I'm all about asking about feedback, but sometimes the feedback is more more of a hindrance.
Yeah.
going to help.
Yeah.
Because their ideas in their head are sometimes not feasible, and
and at the end of the day, you're the professional in what you're doing, so you should just trust what you're doing. Obviously feedback is good sometimes, but
feedback is good, but sometimes when you ask for it, it's
a headache. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. So before we go, how can people find you online? What's your website? So you're on social media, your YouTube?
So it's awesomekids.co.uk, and then at the moment, obviously the most active thing is the YouTube channel, and it's Awesome Kids Limited, and you can find us on there, and we've got lots of fun dances. You can do them as well.
I was just about to say, after this, I am going to dance. I'll let you know how it goes.
Film yourself.
Oh, I will. You can feature it on one of your somewhere. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. So I will post those links underneath here so everyone can get to them. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. And I can't wait to hear more about the studio and how that's all going. Yeah. And about yourself care and how you've relaxed a little bit. That very much excites me. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've liked this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and you can access all of Natalie's business information below. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back very soon. Thanks, Natalie.
Bye.